Before the video is kicking off, special thanks to my dear executive producer Didrik. Without you, this video would not have been possible, and if you, my dear viewer out there, would like to support me and my channel too, check out the first link in the description down below. It will lead you to my Patreon page. Unfortunately, it's time to leave Kuala Lumpur. I had an amazing time in the beginning of my trip here, and I have to admit that this city is absolutely awesome. The food has been great, various activities are abundant, and you can enjoy yourself to the max no matter what you do. Not to forget that I have lots of friends in town, so finding someone to spend time with is surely not a problem. There have been a couple of things I still haven't done there, but I can already tell you that this won't be my last visit to KL and Malaysia in general. The condo I stayed at has been one of the best accommodations I stayed at so far, and I can't wait to return there in the future. I hired an AirAsia ride and made my way out of town. This is also the first time I was driving in a Myvi, which is quite okay lah. The uncle who drove me was friendly and told me a few of his stories of his trip to Switzerland back in 1997. It always surprises me how many Malaysians actually went to Switzerland, since Switzerland is notorious for being way too expensive. In order to get to the place where I'm going next, I can't go by car, so I have to fly. For this purpose, I'm going back to the airport where I arrived, but not at the main terminal. Instead, I'm going to KLIA2, which is the low-cost terminal. For being a low-cost terminal, I think that this terminal looks really nice and that it is much better compared to many other airports in Europe. Also, I use those cool self-checking kiosks where you do the whole procedure on your own and attach the baggage tag by yourself. I wish we had them for the low-cost companies in Basel and in Zurich too, as they are so much more efficient. Alright, baggage got dropped off. Here's my boarding pass. It's time to go to the gate and fly to Miri. As usual, before I'm flying away, I check out the duty-free shop, aka Candy Wonderland. I thought that the duty-free in this airport is more expensive than the one in Zurich, so I didn't get anything from there, even though the chocolate was quite tempting. One thing what I noticed and immediately disturbed me in that area of the airport was the lack of stores. There was only one store in the beginning of the gate row and the only place where you could get snacks and drinks before the flight. All the other shop lots were covered, and it is surely a consequence of reduced traveling due to the pandemic. When you're traveling from a low-cost terminal at a huge airport, then you can be prepared to walk a lot. Hi! Thank you very much! And because I'm flying from KLIA2, I am certainly flying with Malaysia's low-cost airline, AirAsia. For a 178 cm tall guy, I have sufficient legroom despite me having all kinds of stuff with me underneath the seat, and the cabin reminds me a lot of the ones found in Wizz Air and EasyJet planes. It's an Airbus A320, duh! What did you expect? Anyway, I didn't order anything during the flight as I got myself some supplies before the flight. In total, the flight goes around 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is a similar length to the flight I had when flying to Porto earlier this year. Check out the video in the top right corner if you haven't watched it yet. Bye. See ya. See ya. Bye bye. Bye bye. See ya. Strangely, before you enter East Malaysia from West Malaysia, you have to go through a passport control, but luckily enough I didn't have to wait for long and had a separate immigration counter for foreign passport holders only. And here I am in Miri. Basically, this is my little hotel room, what I got for today. Nothing too big or nothing too much to shout about. Got an aircon, got actually not a proper wardrobe, but yeah, I can put your luggage in there also. And there is a pretty big queen size bed And of course on the other side you got the TV from LG. Enough plug points, that's pretty nice. Also like got a working desk too. And let me check out here the bathroom, because that one is actually pretty big. And as you can see, it has only this one small window, which is so far what you can see the only con of this room. And like here all the towels, like the toilet bowl as well. For some reason it doesn't have a bidet, which is like usually standard for Malaysia, but or maybe does it have one? Like is it, I think that's it got one integrated here. Yeah, it is like the kind of luxury stuff here. That's awesome. A pretty huge sink, and of course a huge mirror, rain shower with a small shower as well. And here a few amenities like a sanitary bag, shower cap, 2 toothbrushes with toothpaste, shampoo and bath foam and soap. Yeah, and as you can probably hear outside, it's raining like crazy. And I think, oh, of course there's also the hairdryer. As you probably can hear, it is raining outside, like it's raining like crazy, a lot more compared to what I've had on the first day in KL. So this means I cannot do really much today except for maybe taking a rest in the room, but that's not what I'm going to do because I really want to explore those few days while I'm here in Miri in Sarawak. And I suggest let's go downstairs into my rental car and drive around town. I didn't rent a car beforehand, so I rented one directly at the airport, which is a Proton Saga from 2019. I'm going to show you the car in more detail in an upcoming video, so stay tuned. Anyway, Miri is the second biggest town in Sarawak after the capital Kuching, with around 300,000 inhabitants, making it a bit smaller than Zurich. It is situated very close to the border with Brunei, and it isn't unusual to see Bruneians coming for a day trip to Miri to come for shopping, eating out, or even having a few nights out, especially since Brunei has very strict laws on alcohol. Although Miri might be a rather small town for Malaysian standards, it is big in size. Actually, driving from one end to another, you have around half an hour by car. Also, the public transport in Miri is barely existent, so you either take a taxi/grab or you rent a car. I've rented a car myself and I think it was the best decision. Yes, you pay quite a lot for renting one, but then again, you're independent and can go wherever you want. Also, it is the best way to explore the place by yourself, especially when you're like me and have no idea what you can do in town on a rainy day. Luckily, petrol is still cheap in Malaysia and you can fuel your car up for 2.05 ringgit per liter of RON 95. Driving in Miri is a lot more relaxed compared to KL. People use their indicators when switching lanes, they obey the speed limit most of the time, and they are not in a rush. The road conditions can vary a lot. On one hand, the roads are not kept up very well and have lots of potholes, especially when driving on the bypass around Miri, but on the other hand, there are some brand new flyovers and sections where you have the smoothest ride ever. So it's safe to say that you should be prepared to have a bumpy ride when driving in and around Miri. Sarawak in general is well known in Malaysia for being a relaxed and chill place to be, and this is also the case with religion. Unlike most other Malaysian states, it's not a sultanate and it's the only Malaysian state which is a Muslim minority one. So you will see a lot more churches and Buddhist temples than elsewhere on the peninsula. Also, it is the only state where English is an official language, so many public signs are written in Bahasa Malaysia and English, such as the ubiquitous sign Awas, meaning slow. Oh yeah, and before I forget, the most common people group aren't the Malays, it's the Iban people, who are an indigenous people group in Sarawak. One thing what happened before in the hotel when I was in the lift, there was an indigenous couple who asked me immediately where I'm from, and after telling them that I'm from Switzerland, they were surprised and wished me a great stay in Sarawak and that God should bless me. This left a very positive impression of the Sarawakian people on me. Other than that, this place remotely reminds me of my native country Serbia, especially in terms of development. So it did feel like home, just that home is by no means as diverse as Miri is. Oh, and I like the climate more. I love the warm weather throughout the year compared to the four-season climate with cold winters in Europe. So why am I here in Miri? Well, I only came for one specific reason. No, it's not because I really enjoy the nature and like hikes. No, it's not because I want to go to a town where oil is being made and check out like stuff like that. No. The main reason, literally the main and only reason is because I know a guy, he's also a YouTuber like me, and I watch him for I think over 2 years. I kind of got to know him also very recently, like in the past 2 months. And I just asked him, look, I would really like to have a collab with you, record a video, do something together. And yeah, he was up for it, or actually he still is up for it, and I'm going to meet him in a minute. And if you know a YouTuber from Miri, well, you're going to meet him right now, because if you know one, then I think most likely it is going to be the one YouTuber from Miri. Okay guys, I'm somewhere in a really nice bar here in Miri together with the YouTuber of whom I've spoke before. This is the legend, Hee Wei Seng.
Hello everyone, my name is Hee Wei Seng. Welcome.
It's really nice to be here with you together. Such a nice place, and thank you for welcoming here me. And I really cannot wait what we can do tomorrow.
Yes, we'll bring you go see, go look.
Exactly.
And try to find a girlfriend for you.
Hopefully. And also his fiancée Jia Yiing and his other friend, the Fuyo friend, Veron Kong, also YouTuber, really nice guy. He's making his videos in Bahasa Malaysia, so if you really like cars and want it in your native language, go subscribe to Veron, and also subscribe to Hee Wei Seng if you haven't done it. All those guys, best ones.
Yes.
And I'm having here something very delicious, and it's a bit spicy. Let me show you what it is. It is this dish, like, how is it called again, Jia Yiing?
Sizzling pork.
Sizzling pork, right?
Babi balota.
Sizzling pork.
And that is the way how it looks like. It is pretty spicy, like for my palate it's a little bit too much, but it is still bearable. Wow, thanks for the lighting. Yeah. Wow. And it is getting delivered in this hot pan, really nice. And I'm enjoying it so much. So while I'm enjoying the rest of the night, I really cannot wait to see you tomorrow. In the next video... Yeah! This is the main landmark of the city of Miri.
This is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah.
Manuel is the best! Whoa!